the Zoom room as well.
Got it.
I've shared the link for the. Okay, then I'm going to start admitting people in. Okay.
Can you make me co-host?
Have you shared already the link?
Social media.
Right. So for people in the room, I'd like to ask everyone to make sure that you are muted, and you can keep your cameras off as well. So we can have it focused on our guest.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, more people are joining in. Thank you for spending the weekend with us. Right. Let me just stop my. So we'll start now. We are now live, and welcome to another episode of A Day in the Life of a Work from Home Pythonista. And thank you so much for coming here today. We're your hosts, Matt
And Nikki. We are both members of the Python Philippines Board of Trustees. Oh, it's me. Sorry.
Yes.
A day in the life.
Go on, Mickey.
A Day in the Life of a Work from Home Pythonista is a monthly webinar talk show series where we interview Pythonistas representing various roles, from developer, CTO, data scientist, QA, network engineer, educator, students, among others. The purpose is to give people in the community an insight of what a typical day looks like for various roles. Hopefully, this would also serve as an inspiration and give a sense of community, especially for most who are working from home or studying from home. So to introduce the show format, the first part is a virtual tour of the speaker's work area at home and some of his tools, and then a talk show with live Q&A with the speaker. So you can ask the speaker anything you want at the Q&A part.
Okay, so before we get to that part, we'd like to thank our sponsor, Swarm, for making this show possible. They're a very strong supporter of communities in general. And for those who don't know, Swarm is the main supporter of the year for Python PH. Their sponsorship allows Python PH as a nonprofit to continue to support and facilitate the growth of the community of Python programmers in the Philippines. Also, heads up that we have a coding challenge and we're giving away a Raspberry Pi Zero to the lucky winner courtesy of our generous sponsor, Swarm. So stay tuned at the end of the show for the instructions.
So our guest for today is Narendran R. He doesn't have a surname. He's an engineering leader and a software consultant, an independent software consultant. And he builds scalable and robust systems. He has worked with both Fortune 500 companies and startups building products across different industries like finance, e-commerce, mining, and recently blockchain. Outside software, he values the playtime with his puppy. He calls him puppy even if it's already big. And brewing coffee and fitness routines.
All right, so without further ado, I'd like to give the floor to Narendran. So yeah, it's all yours.
Hey, thanks, Matt and Nikki. So it's really great to meet you folks again after a long time. It's been 2 years since we had a conference or meetup in real life. Yeah. And to be honest, PyCon PH was one of the best conferences I had so far. And the post-conference tours and the fun we had, like those are the best. So, and yeah. So I'll share my screen. I have a very small presentation about the tools and my work from home setup. I hope it is visible.
Yeah, we see your screen.
Wait. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, maybe there's just some delay. I think it's like being shown.
Yeah, I am able to see it.
Yeah, I'm also able to see it.
Wait. I'm just one. Yeah, maybe there's just some delay. Okay, now. Okay, it's already on. It's on the YouTube live now. So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. All right. So yeah. So let's get started. It's going to be just a very short presentation about my work setup and day-to-day tools I use, and a bit about me too. So I'm Naren, and you can find me on Twitter in that handle Global Code, and I tweet about mostly software, engineering, and also a bit of also a lot of pictures of my dog, who's not a puppy anymore, as Mickey said. And more about me, I'm an independent software consultant, and I have my own company called Coppermind.io, and I mostly work on leadership roles. And apart from work, I love working out and cycling, and also love brewing coffee. So every morning I wake up and look forward to my coffee, and I experiment with different brews and different uh, roasters around here. And currently, I am working on a very interesting project with a startup called Arcana Network. And we are trying to build decentralized storage services based on blockchain. And it's like S3 it's like S3 but decentralized, and you have more control over it. So, so like my day to day work and personal life revolves around these tools, and you can say that these are the tools I can't live without. So the most used tool in my um, list is Obsidian. So I use it extensively to take notes whenever I get on a call with someone, or whenever I read something, or during my daily stand-ups, and I just open and I'll start writing notes. And uh, later I'll talk about how uh, and a bit of note taking in this slide, this presentation. So, and I use GoodNotes for journaling. So almost every day I try to write journal. At least not every day. I will at least catch up every week, and it is sort of a very good habit to have personally and also professionally, because there are a lot of benefits in that. I encourage everyone to write and also journal every day. Dump your thoughts and dump your values into that, and uh, what do you want to do, and what do you want to become. And I extensively use Todoist to manage all my tasks. I've been I used a lot of task management and to-do list, but again, I ended up with I did a full circle for 7 years. I started with to-do list and tried different tools. Then I again ended up with to-do list, and I use fantastical calendar to manage my time and block my time, and as well as um, deliberately blocking time for focus time and learning time. And I use Calendly to schedule meetings, especially um, others can schedule meetings with me. And I think there's a Calendly link in my bio, and if you want to have a catch up call, you can just go and block my calendar. And I use one password to store all the credentials, and this sort of makes my life easier. I don't have to. I mean, I think every software engineer should know that you don't have to remember your passwords, and you need to keep your passwords secure. So yeah, and final thing, I've been using Kindle for reading, mm, mostly the Kindle device, until my dog chewed it and rendered it useless. I switched to Apple Books because Kindle and laptop sort of the dark mode is very off, and the Apple Books is good. And then I realized, I think it's been like a year sort of. I realized instead of supporting Amazon and buying books from there, I started buying books from the authors directly, and export it into Apple Books, and I started reading it. So yeah, supporting small business and workers directly. And so this is my workspace. One thing I forgot to mention is I used to live in a metro city, and a proper city like Manila. So, and I moved from there to sort of a remote town, closer to Himalayas and closer to mountains. I love mountains, so I wanted. I just packed here for a week and I moved here, and then it's been a year. So I've been working from here for a year, and this is my small uh, or mini workspace. And even though I work remotely and sort of a digital nomad, I always want to have like a proper ergonomic or close to ergonomic work setup so that when I get old, I don't deal with back pain. And that's really important. Like if there are any folks who are in their 20s, like if you don't want to end up paying all your money which you earn now to hospital bills and physiotherapy later, try to invest in some good chair and good table as well as good keyboard if you want. And that's my work partner. He makes sure I wake up every day morning at 6, and I keep myself, yeah, I keep myself fit running every day with him, so that I can get back to work and go through my day. um, he still thinks that he's a cat, and he squeezes in below my workspace every day. His name is Tenson. Yeah. And he is handsome and naughtiest puppy you've ever seen. So apart from working from my room or slash home, so I do try to change my workplaces. I go to cafes around here, and I work from um, outside the house, terrace, and different places, because like sometimes it feels so monotonous, and especially during the pandemic, everyone had to you know go for the remote working, and you can't meet people in real life, and it will become a bit monotonous. So in order to break that, I usually go to cafes and work at least once a week or twice a week. And yeah, this is my basic work setup. I used to have a like a 32-inch 4K monitor with all PC setup, and but then once I moved to this place, everything became minimal. It's only my MacBook Pro and my iPad. And actually, I'm finding iPad really useful because actually I'm able to code and as well as learn from my iPad. I have spin up a $5 DigitalOcean server, and I will search into the server. And whenever I'm learning on my iPad, reading tech books, and if I need to quickly execute some program or command, I just log into the server and I start using Vim. So that's it's turning out to be a good investment. I thought it's going to be a waste. And um, so about the productivity habits, I want to touch upon two things. One is note taking, TD, and time boxing. Actually, three things it is. So I try to stick with getting things done method, both in my to-do list as well as in the note taking. And I always try to time box my day and week by marking my calendar for different personal activities as well as official activities like meetings and meetups. Um, so I don't have to explain about GTD. Everyone knows about this, but the main thing is this system is, I thought it is overrated, but it just works. So when you try to have a routine and when you keep reviewing your lists and keep prioritizing things both personally and professionally, it just works. So I would suggest everyone to try this, and not just personally, but it works professionally too. So what one thing I have found is you can't use a Jira board or a issue tracker to list on everything while you're working, right? So for example, if you're trying to solve something in Django, and then you need to browse through different resources, you need to learn something new, and also you need to maybe brainstorm with your friend who is really good at Django, and all these things you can't put it in your Jira board and put it in your official sprint board. So I used to do this extensively to have a mirror my work tasks to basically the issues from Jira or other issue tracker, and I have my own view of how to accomplish things, and it's sort of a sweet spot for me that I don't care like who's looking at my board. It's just me and my priorities, and yeah. And about note taking, I cannot emphasize how important it is for any good software engineer. Note taking is not just writing; it's about articulating your ideas precisely. And one more thing is human brains are wired to forget things. So basically, always try to keep a handy note with you and always try to jot things down. And since we are all embracing to go towards remote, we are already in a remote work environment, right? So their written communication is really, really important. So um, it actually helps you even build great teams. And how I do is I try to follow GTD even in note taking. So whenever I want to take notes, it will be like a zero friction. So I don't think too much. I just open the app which I use is Obsidian. So I just open it and I'll start drafting it. And then I will add it to like a daily review sort of. I can link it to like a daily review list through some plugins. And end of the day, I'll review the note and I will organize it and link it. And if I want some permanent notes, for example, if today I'm working on Docker and setting up Postgres through Docker and connecting, SQL Alchemy from Python to the containers. And if I noted it down today, and if I want that as my permanent note, I will move that permanent notes, and then I will link all the notes. So the graph which you see is sort of the notes which I have taken and I have linked. So it's sort of like everything which I come across on day-to-day basis, from coding to meetings to learning new tech to uh, non-fiction, even non-fiction books and fiction books. So yeah. And the final thing I want to talk about is time boxing, because whenever you get on with your day, especially when you're remote and especially when you're independent and you're on your own, it is really important to time box your schedule and plan your week ahead, because or else you'll sit and you will end up watching the time pass away. And whenever you feel like you're not able to do uh, things in a day, and if you have the feeling of no, I can't find time to do this, then you try to follow this, you try to time box and add it to your calendar and do something related to it. So for example, if you want to learn something and watch a course or complete a course, add it to your club it with your daily morning coffee or whatever morning habit you have, and add it to your calendar. And you just show up daily. Eventually you will start progressing and learning. I mean, progressing in that course or whatever goals you have. So this gives you a better system and a better routine and habit. And I want to end this presentation with one final note. So whatever system you're using, productivity system or any system to manage your team at work, it could be Agile or Agile Scrum and weekly sprints or whatever it is, nothing will work without constant reviews. So whichever system you pick for your personal life and professional life, you have to review it daily and weekly and monthly, right? So yeah, that's it I have for today, presentation wise. And yeah, over to Matt.
Wow. Thanks, Naren, for sharing all of those productivity tips. I actually picked up quite a few there. Very interesting. Okay. Hold on. Okay, so now now I'll be opening now the floor. Like I'm pretty sure like you guys out there already have like some questions already that you like to pick Naren's brain as to the things that he does, the work, his setup. So I'll be opening the floor now for any questions from the audience. And just checking here on YouTube. Okay, so we have a few shout outs here already on YouTube from Mr. Valdez.
So nice. Hi.
Okay, so those who are in Zoom chat, if you have any questions, just post them here. Miki and I will be reading them as we see them. The first questions that we have, though, is from Mr. Valdez. All right. So let me just pick one up. So he has a question here. How important is internet connection to you, since you can't guarantee internet at your workplace?
No, that's something which I forgot to mention. So when I said it is a remote town, comparatively it's remote from a metro like my hometown, which is Chennai, or the place you are there, Manila. So I do have 300 Mbps fiber here, and I get all the deliveries, Amazon deliveries in 2 days here. So it is like somewhere between a full-blown metro city and a remote place. So basically, the thing I love about this is love about here is I can just take a 10-minute walk and I'll hit a trail and I can go for a hike here. So, and whenever I want to go for a walk or running, I can just step out and go out there. There won't be any traffic. There won't be like people honking behind me. So yeah, this is like a perfect place. So internet is very important. Of course, you guys know it's really important unless we are on a vacation. Even though if you're on a vacation, servers do go down during vacation. So yeah.
It actually sounds like something that Miki and I have been like contemplating on since the pandemic. Like we were thinking about maybe since a lot of people now have kind of gotten used to working from home, why not like find a place where you can kind of work and have a vacation during the off peak hours. It sounds like what you're already doing, actually. That would be a dream. Wow. So yeah, I actually have a question. So do you rent that place where you're staying? Like, is that like on a lease or?
So it's sort of a rent. The story is it was a spontaneous event. So I actually last year I packed for like literally 7 days, and I came to this place and to just work from here, and I started liking this place. It was really good, and I really the air is really good. Air quality is really good, and I get really good sleep. So I extended it for a few weeks, few months. Then it's been a year. I got home a dog, and a lot of things happened.
Wow, amazing. Okay. Oh, we have a question here from Krishnan. Okay, so Krishnan asks, how do you usually wind down every day?
Winding down is mostly I try to have a routine. Mostly it is reviewing the day. It's not like when I say that, it sounds like I have like this huge system of doing everything perfectly, but not like. I will try to look at the tasks and which I did today, and what I'm going to do tomorrow, maybe for just 5 to 10 minutes. That's all. And then probably um, that's the productive part I do. Apart from that, I just grab myself a glass of wine and watch any TV show if I don't have any other work, or if I don't have to read any book.
How about you, Miki? Do you have questions for Naren?
Yeah. So I actually wanted to. I'm gonna veer away from the topic a bit. Because I've always been curious. What made you decide to pursue being an independent software consultant versus being employed full time at a company?
So it is also a bit spontaneous and out of necessity. But I had the plans of going independent maybe down the line after 5 6 years, after getting maybe 10 to 15 years of experience on software. But around 2019, yeah, right after we finished our PyCon Philippines slash APAC. So that year I was actually waiting for my visa to relocate to London. And those guys took like literally 6 months, and I was out of job for 6 months. And
Okay.
and I was running out of money, and I was like, okay, so anyhow, I wanted to consult and I wanted to go independent. Right now, I don't have money. Why don't I do it now? If I fail, nothing is going to happen. Anyhow, I don't have money now. I need money. So, and then I started calling people, and um, I surprisingly, like a lot of people were ready to offer me projects.
Yeah.
That is mainly because I couldn't again stress enough that networking it is so important. So, and thanks to PyCon Philippines, one of my first project was from a guy from PyCon Taiwan, and also I think I forgot the name. He's also um, the client slash CTO whom I worked with. He was or he is the board member of PyCon Europe or something. So never miss PyCon Philippines, and also always try to put yourself out there, give talks, and engage with the community, and the community always gives back to you.
Oh, nice tip.
Wow, who knew?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Actually hear a lot of people asking how they don't get they're having a hard time getting jobs even if they've already learned a lot of things. But then Naren here is saying that you should just put yourself out there. So maybe that's the missing piece.
Sounds like one of those moments where there's no what do you call it? I remember the Bob Ross everything's like a happy accident, huh?
Yeah.
There are no mistakes.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I actually didn't know that that's what happened. I thought Naren has always been a independent software engineer even before Python. So how about you, Matt? Do you have questions? Let me check YouTube.
Yeah, let's check if there are other questions from
There's
the
a
audience.
question from Mr. Valdez.
Maybe I'll just read
Okay.
read some of the comments here. Yeah, Shara says we miss digital nomading here in the PH. Yeah, we haven't. A lot of people haven't been going out for a while.
Yeah, I think I think like we went to that place. I forgot the name from the countryside. You guys take that
Yes,
Airbnb, go there for a week and work from there. It was really amazing. What was that, Matt? That place which we went post PyCon.
Yeah, it's somewhere in the Quezon province. I forgot also the exact name. I'll have to look it up. But yeah, that's actually like a really nice place. I remember, especially the place where we ate lunch at. Yeah, it's a really very serene, relaxing place.
It's Mahayhay Bed and Breakfast.
Mahayhay Bed and Breakfast. Okay. So those who are thinking about traveling sometime next year, yeah, check out Mahayhay Bed and Breakfast in the Quezon province.
Do you remember the sausage there, or are you vegetarian? You probably didn't eat it.
I am not vegetarian. I think I remember the sausages. Yeah, I remember the food. The food was amazing. The seafood was amazing.
Okay. Wait. Let me pick another question here from our list. So okay. So so something. Can you share something that a recent work that you're most proud of? Like it could be like anything, like actual work related or like a side project that you've been working on.
The work which I'm really proud of, I think it is the independent consulting which I'm doing. Because so I was pretty amazed because like when I quit my job and when I thought of going into this line, I thought I'll be struggling few months without projects, but in just few days I got projects, and whatever the main takeaway is, it is because of years and years of networking and engaging with the community and deliberately talking to people and deliberately catching up with people and right. So whatever when you accomplish something or like something which you're proud of, it doesn't happen overnight. So it is like years and years of compounding effect. So I'm proud of that, as well as I'm also really surprised about the networking and the compounding effect. I'm realizing it now, and yeah, and wherever I go and wherever I talk, I always try to emphasize the point that everyone should do this, and it really is important. Even though if you have a day job, or it doesn't matter whether you're independent or you're having a day job. So the job security you have is how fast you can get to a next job.
Yeah, that's really something. I've like between me, like Miki and I also, like those are like some of the thoughts that we've had, like um, like even as introverts, you can't really like undermine the power of like network and being part of a community. It really opened a lot of opportunities for us as well. So That's for sure. And it always amazes me to hear stories like these where, like community actually helps. Because I'd imagine like you probably felt like I'm screwed like 6 months without a job.
Yeah.
That's a crazy experience. Like it's almost like, yeah, waiting for, am I still waiting for something? Am I waiting for nothing? Should I?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can just imagine. How about you, Miki? Do you have any other questions for Naren? Maybe you pick one of the questions that we have prepared. Also, you can unmute. So
I don't know. I don't have a specific question, but I guess I just wanted to share with the audience that so Naren was previously a speaker at PyCon APAC 2019, and his talk title was Empathy Maquette an Engineer. So he also missed his flight back home after the conference. Can you share us a little bit about whatever you want to share about your talk, or about our little adventure after the conference?
Yeah, the whole Philippine the travel was a bit adventurous because to start with, what happened is I had to enter with honorable visa. I guess I have US visa, so I had to enter with honorable visa. And even though I verified everywhere, it's not a problem. Right before my flight, Indian immigration, they stopped me and they were like, "Where is the Philippines?" So I was like, "No, I have a US visa. I have, it's honorable." They took like 20 minutes to verify that with their colleagues, and I was like, "Oh God, okay." Then I came to Philippines and I unpacked everything in my hotel room, and then I realized that I was carrying. I had some sweets for the friends there, and there was this one Indian sweet which has a lot of I don't know, it's like sugary liquid, and it spilled all over my bag. And so, and then finally, then I came to the venue and met everyone. And the about the talk, I always wanted to give like a non-technical talk because Python always has talks with Python in it. So, and honestly, the talk was from the references were from different TED Talks and different previous keynotes and stuff. But it was one of the good talk, and it was one of the well-received talk, and I really enjoyed giving that talk, and I loved the audience. And I don't know, they laughed at every joke and of mine, and it does not happen everywhere. So post PyCon was so fun. We went to Jollibee, and we went to different bars around Manila, and then we also went on a mini trip somewhere around the countryside. So it was really fun. And again, ending the journey was also a bit odd because I missed my flight back home. So I missed my flight and I had to come back to my hotel and stay there. And the next flight was around like 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. And it was all like there was also some issues where my last name wasn't there in the ticket and my passport has last name. So the security at Philippines, they were like, looking at it, and they were asking me questions. And yeah, and I think the most important the highlight is I worked for like 7-8 hours from Malaysia airport, I guess. I didn't get a direct flight, so I had a transit at Malaysia, and it was like at least 6 hours of layover. And I was supposed to start my work, so I was working from there. Yeah, that's why it's one of the best travel so far, and as well as the best conference I attended.
Wow. So many memories.
Yeah,
So many misadventures, happy accidents.
yeah.
Yeah, I actually wanted to share, tell the audience though, after when you have time, check out Naren's talk last 2019. Because it's he like he said, it's very rare to like there are a lot of tech talks, but uh, Python is one of the programming languages where there's a balance between humanity and tech. So if you want to feel a little bit uh, about that, uh, uh, check out Naren's talk and also probably follow him on Twitter because he has like a doesn't just talk about tech. He also talks about mm, yeah, about the other stuff, the analog part of engineering, which is also important.
Um, I think we can squeeze in one more question from the audience before we wrap up. Um, okay, N Layer Pro has a question over YouTube. What are your thoughts on Web3 now that you're working with a blockchain startup?
So my thoughts is Web3 is like it is in the state of 1990s of internet. So basically, I think it's just past the ARPANET of Web 2 or Web 1. So it is what I mean is it's in like really early stages, and there are a lot of fad around it, crypto and NFTs, and but the tech behind it is really interesting. I am focusing on the tech part. So and the thing is like could potentially sit beside HTTPS, and it will act as a trust layer for the whole internet. And when you work on Web3, when you like work technically on Web3, you get to work on core protocols and a lot of cryptography stuff. And honestly, like on day-to-day basis, I have to learn a lot, and I get on calls with professors um, through my client, since my client is into Web3. So we get on calls with professors who translate the research papers, cryptography papers, and make the developers understand, and we will be implementing it. So it is pretty interesting, and it is not a bad idea to try things, because end of the day it's a decentralized system, distributed system, and if Web3 is a hit, good, well and good, you are in the bleeding edge, and you will be the first uh, adopters on tech side. If it fails, it's a great experience for you. It's not like a complete deviation from whatever we are doing.
Don't you wanna ask Naren, Matt? Because you've been obsessing about Bitcoin lately, right? Do you have any? Do you want something? There are some things that you wanted to verify, right?
Oh, no, no. I've recently been like dabbling with, but yeah, but so are you mainly working on like the Ethereum blockchain, or is there like other blockchains that you're working on?
Ethereum primarily. I just got started with it, so I'm also learning.
Okay. No, I mean, yeah. So I've just been kind of also been dabbling around, playing around with, although more on the Lightning Network, just trying to check out how smart contracts work around the Bitcoin blockchain area.
Right.
Yeah, it's interesting to just maybe have someone to like bounce off some thoughts with in the future.
Yeah, sure.
um, Mr. Valdez also notes that this is not a question, but he hopes to see you again.
Yeah, Likewise.
All right. Yeah, this has been very, very interesting. Now we'll just do some wrap up. I also need to explain like a bit of the mechanics for the coding challenge we have. So before we get to that part, Naren, do you have any announcements to our audience or anything else? Any final thoughts?
So final thoughts is I don't have anything to promote, but I do have to say that we are hiring. So of course the usual, but the catch is you get to work on Web3 and core protocols, and you get to work with great minds from the academy and research side who are like, cryptographers and who has designed a lot of security protocols. And so yeah, if this is something which you're interested in, just contact me through my Twitter. And yeah, so sort of we are hiring across the board.
Sounds amazing. So anyone here listening who's looking to jump like to new exploring this new area of computing. So yeah, reach out to Naren on his Twitter. So I think it's at Dude Who Codes, right? Maybe we'll just also put it on in the description later after the show in the YouTube channel.
Sure.
Okay.
So we just
go
have,
ahead.
Okay. So we just have two more announcements to make. One about our sponsor, and the last one is about the coding challenge. For our sponsor, we just wanted to, because they've been a really big help for us with fundraising for this year. So we also wanted to help them with their promotions. So Swarm is an invite-only community where top-tier builders ideate, strategize, and team up for high-quality freelance projects. You can join the waitlist via swarm.work. To get access to Swarm Builder and Founder Network, community events, and more. So the website is swarm.work. It's like a freelance platform, but it's they're trying to do it a bit different. So if you want to team up with high quality freelance projects with top tier builders, they're opening up exclusive slots for Swarm Verified. So they call it Swarm Verified, which means verified Swarmies get exclusive access to their curated project marketplace, community of vetted talent, exclusive events, and more. So you can apply for Swarm Verified at swarm.work/verified. So if you just got tired of getting freelance works that are kind of dirt cheap or dime a dozen, try this. It might be a different experience for you. So Matt.
All right. So let me just share my screen for a bit. Okay, so for the coding challenge, right now everyone can see my screen. So so for the mechanics of the coding challenge, so what's the challenge? So the key concepts. So it's a coding challenge. So you need to answer a coding problem. So you will be submitting. So the key concept here that will be covered by the challenge is very simple. It's just going through you just need to utilize some conditional statements and some string concatenation. See, very easy. And then you just need to submit your code snippet over at bit.ly, and then with that link here. So I won't, yeah, it's just too long. And then place your solution on a GitHub gist, and then tweet it with a mention to us at PythonPH, and also to our sponsor at Swarm Work. Now the prize would be whoever tweets first will get the Raspberry Pi Zero, a choice between a Raspberry Pi Zero or a book of your choice worth 1,000 pesos or less that can be bought via fullybookedonline.com, so that we can just have it delivered to your place. All right, so we will also be posting the code snippet link, but on YouTube. But for those who are already watching and listening, so you might want to do a screen grab of the link, and yeah. So I'll just give you all a few seconds to that screen grab, check the link for the question, and then just make sure that you submit on a GitHub gist, and then tweet about it with a mention of us, PythonPH, and Swarm Work. Right?
So just a clarification, you don't have to finish the code right now. You can take some time after but the first one who finishes and submits the correct solution gets the prize. Okay?
Yeah. Okay. All right, so I'll stop sharing the screen now. Then I'll just do a quick shout out of our audience, and then we'll be closing. Okay. All right, just a quick shout out to the people who joined us here over at Zoom. Thank you for spending your weekend with us here. Albert, Yumol, Anton Rafael Orpilia, Aisen Reyes, Jason Serial, Jezreel Kaimor, Krishnan Raghavan, Nanda, Riel, Teradine, or Alan Mark Pongasi, and Jab. Thank you for joining us here. Those who joined us over at YouTube and made a shout out there, Mr. Valdez, Zorex, Allison, and Layer Pro, Ange. So thank you all for joining. Yeah, this has been a wonderful evening, and thank you once more, Naren, for joining us. And yeah, this has been a very interesting evening. It was nice catching up once more, and we hope to see you again.
Yeah, face to face.
All right. Thank you so much for having.
Yeah, so that's all we have today. Okay, never mind.
All right. Okay, bye everyone.